Stress and screen brain. The chicken or the egg? Which one came first? I'm Dr. Trish Leigh. Let's break it down in this video. Okay, so stress. What is it? I'm going to read the definition from the dictionary. It is a state of mental or emotional strain or tension resulting from adverse or very demanding circumstances. And the example is he's obviously under a lot of stress. Now there's the definition, but like I needed to tell you that because we are stressed out more than ever. It makes me think of the 21 Pilots song, Stressed Out, right? Build a rocket ship and fly far away. That's what we're doing when we go into the screen. We're trying to build a rocket ship and fly it far away because we want out of the stressful situations that we have allowed to persist in our lives. We feel like we've been under very demanding or adverse circumstances for too long, and most of us have. Talking about a woman who has 6 beautiful children and a couple businesses, it can be a lot of stress. But here's the key: learning survival techniques, stress management techniques to reduce your stress as your offensive plan and to deal with stress as your defensive plan. And that's what we're going to talk about a little bit in this video once we talk about the brain pattern. And we have to remember, we're talking chicken or the egg with the screen. So stress, is it the chicken or the egg? Is it the thing that drives you into the screen, or does the screen create screen brain that actually gives you more stress? Well, the answer is not that easy. It's actually both. So we know that stress can be a driver that pushes you into the screen to feel good. Now, in the screen, we have a continuum of supernormal stimuli. Supernormal stimuli, or a stimulus, multiple stimulus, means that when you are in the screen passively consuming content, that your brain is getting dopamine. And the reason it's on a continuum from lower to higher is depending upon what you're watching or what you're consuming, there may be lower levels of dopamine up to massive levels of dopamine. But no matter what, this continuum is a supernormal stimuli, meaning that when you go into the screen, you are giving your brain more dopamine at a time than it could ever get in the world. I call it the easy button. It's from Staples. If you remember back in the day, there was a commercial for Staples, the paper and office supply place, where there's a red button and on it, it says that was easy. And you go like this and you hit the button and the person in the commercial has a big problem. They're like, you know what? My business is about to implode. I need help. And they tell the Staples girl that, and she goes, here you go, just hit my easy button. And the person goes, boop, hits the easy button, and their whole business is thriving. That would be beautiful if that was real, but it's not. That's an unreality. But that's what the screen does. It's like, I'm feeling so stressed out about my life. I'm feeling stressed out about my work. I'm still feeling stressed out about all my children and my partner. And I'm feeling stressed out because I haven't had a break in 6 months. I haven't done any of my hobbies. Let me hit the easy button. Boop. Transformed into escapism through a flood of dopamine that goes rushing through your brain and your nervous system. Unfortunately, in that rush, it's also damaging your brain and your nervous system. We know the higher the supernormal stimulus, it's flooding your system and it is decreasing functioning in your frontal lobe, and it is frying out the reward center in your midbrain. And at the highest levels of supernormal stimuli is adult content, explicit content. So if you're searching and seeking and consuming sexual media of really any kind, and that exists on a continuum, you are damaging your brain. Down from there, we have video games. Down from there, we have lots of video consumption. Then even your emails and your texts can ping on your phone and give you a dopamine hit, or a drip, as I call it. And then when you go into the screen, you get this dopamine deluge, a flood. But unfortunately, it creates a dopamine deficit out in your life. Dopamine is the pleasure-seeking neurochemical. So when you are pushed back into the screen by stress and you're pulled in by the pleasure, It constantly keeps you seeking more. Pleasure-seeking neurochemical. It's insatiable. You can never satisfy it. It will always want more and more, which means if you're on social media, you'll be scrolling longer and harder and faster and liking and all over the place because your brain is wired and tired out here in the extremes of the pendulum effect, the opposite of being in flow. Okay, so what's your brain hack for the day? Your brain hack is chicken or the egg. It's both. So the number one aspect of your brain hack for the day is to get on purpose in your life. Go find dopamine in the world. Think of something that you love to do. I know I keep saying it, but the reality is if you train your brain like a puppy that the dopamine's in the world from your favorite hobby, from work you love, or hanging out with your peeps, if you do that, plan a hangout for Saturday with some friends. Go to a comedy club. Laugh your booty off. Have some good food. Food's very dopamine producing. You will go, hey brain, guess what? The dopamine's in the world. Not all the cortisol like I've trained you. I've trained you that there's no dopamine in the world. There's just stress. With a cortisol, the neurotransmitter of anxiety, spike. The dopamine deficit and the cortisol spike is because of screen brain. So you've trained your brain. The world's stressful. The screen is where it's at to feel good. That's what we're going to flip-flop right now. So when you use your brain hack of scheduling something fun and dopamine producing, and if you want to, you can make it as dopamine producing as humanly possible for you. So if you like to ride your motorcycle, get out there and zoom zoom. If you like to scuba dive, get on the schedule for scuba diving. Do something that makes you nervous-sighted, makes you feel a little nervous, and makes you feel excited. That perfect friction point between anxiety and excitement. That's what your nervous system craves. It craves calming and stimulation at the same time. Feeling nervous, feeling exciting, but feeling good. Show your brain the world is where that's at. Now, when it comes to the screen, what do you do there? You balance screen time. Get intentional about what you consume. If it's sexual media, it's gotta go. There's no need for that. You wanna create sexuality in a healthy way in the world with a partner. Unfollow anybody you're following on social media. Fill your feed with things that help you be on purpose. Fill it with motivation. Fill it with the hobbies that you love. Fill it with the mentors and the thought leaders that you love. So if you go on social media, you're jazzed up about your life. You're not escaping. You're not taking a rocket ship and flying far away. You're getting juiced up and jazzed up about your life. Change your feed. Balance the amount of time you use your screen. Schedule it. Don't just use it on and off all day long because you're training your brain. It's hard to be in the world. Let's just keep going into the screen. That's where it's at. But if you show your brain, it's awesome being in the world, but we can be in the screen a little bit too. But the world's where it's at. That's where the dopamine is. That's where the serotonin for happiness is. That's where the oxytocin for connection is. But the screen's okay too, and we'll go there a little bit. That's how you change it. Reduce the stress in your life and go chase down something dopamine producing that also brings you happiness and connection, and make a plan to balance your screen time. Don't do it passively. Do it intentionally on purpose. All right, I hope that helps you out. If you're looking for help on the journey, please reach out to me, drtrishleigh.com. I have digital programs on how to control your brain so it doesn't control you, how to get on purpose in your life, and how to use neuroscience brain hacks so that you can transform your life into what you've always wanted it to be. There's also personal coaching there and home neurofeedback coaching with me. So go check it out. And as always, control your brain or it'll control you.